Ready?
Yeah, so this is a watch with me, which is where Kevin and I watch fights from the Golden Age, and usually it's one that we haven't seen, and so you're getting our like real-time reactions to it, and we're just completely geeking out at the experience. This one is one that we have seen before, but it's an incredible event. It's just an insane fight, not only for the matchup.
And we haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah, we saw it a long time ago, so it's still quite fresh. In terms of like rewatching it without knowing exactly how things went.
Totally. Though we do know these are the two of the greatest knee fighters in history, and one reason why we want to do a watch with me with on this fight is that this level of Muay Thai fighting simply does not exist anymore in Muay Thai.
No.
The rules have changed. Not only that, though, the skill levels of knee fighters have changed.
Yeah.
And
the face-off of best of the best is less common now as well.
Yes, but even if you did the best of the best, you would not see a fight like this. This Muay Thai, when we say the Muay Thai of the Golden Age no longer exists, yes, the Samarts and the Femur, the Karahats really don't exist, but also the knee fighters don't exist.
The knee fighting is not the same.
Exactly.
Ever.
So this was a huge event at the time, right?
Yes.
This was Wang Sung Chai put this on. And Langsuan, I forgot if we say this, but Langsuan is an interesting fighter because you're friends with Karahat and Gansak, two legends, maybe two top 10 legends, and you asked them both who separately who is the hardest person to fight, and they both said Langsuan.
They didn't even take a beat to think about it. Both of them were just like Langsuan.
Yeah, and
independently.
This was like at very different times. It was so Langsuan, who you're about to see, is a nightmare.
Yes.
Like he's known for
because
his relentlessness.
Relentless. His nickname as a fighter was Mr. Merciless Knee. He just doesn't stop. And he's fighting Chamuakpet, who was Fighter of the Year.
In 1985.
He was known as Mr. Computer Knee, and he's one of the most decorated fighters of all time, but of the Golden Age was insane. He had 9 belts between Lumpini and Rajadamnern stadiums, which is just unbelievable.
And he was called Mr. Computer Knee because he was a knee fighter, but he also had like kind of like thought of as like a high IQ knee fighter.
Diesel Noise, like he could do everything.
Yeah.
And Diesel Noise trained with him.
So we're watching 2 different knee fighters. And it was just like a crowning event, kind of like one of the shows of the year in the Golden Age.
But do not miss fight.
Totally.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching Watch with me, and enjoy this fight with us.
Yeah, watch us geek out about this. So we have Langsuan in the blue shorts and Chamuakpet in the red shorts. And this is kind of the who's who before the fight. This is definitely the main event, doing some kind of presentation. So this has heads of the Hapalang gym, which is Chamuakpet's gym. That's Wang Sung Chai, a little bit to the left in the middle there. He's the promoter of this event. He was the promoter of some of the best fights and is still a promoter. He's one of the longest standing.
Well, he would change the sport in a lot of ways. Yeah. But at this point, he was probably like on his stride.
Totally. So this is at Lumpini Stadium.
What? Start with the team.
So Chamuakpet is southpaw, Langsuan orthodox.
Oh, inside that little low kick on the lead leg, which is always open to cross. Oh, and an elbow.
Ready. Oh, he hopped in.
Hop in. That's what I want you to do, baby.
So for people who aren't familiar with these styles, Langsuan, they edit together rounds 1 and 2. So round 1 was incredibly short right there.
That might have even been 1 and 2.
Langsuan, when he latches on, that's the problem. So keeping him from latching is what most people want. This is round 2.
Kick to the open side. Kick to the open side. These open side kicks is where the belly button is pointing.
You can see that they're not going full bore yet.
Nope. They're just trading kicks.
They have a similar rhythm to each other. Their bounce is kind of nicely syncopated, actually.
Totally. Oh, look at it, very relaxed. This is round 2, right?
Yeah.
Teep is nice. Oh, and a head kick following the teep. You don't really expect a head kick coming back after a teep landed. Oh, the stepping
Chamuakpet's
knee. This is his evil knee, especially against
And
orthodox.
Langsuan's uppercut. Langsuan from clinching range threw these incredible
Oh, he threw another uppercut,
back arm
baby.
uppercuts.
He threw another uppercut. But just to watch, Chamuakpet has a very big rear knee, spearing knee from southpaw
So
into the open
Langsuan
side.
has actual uppercuts, and Chamuakpet kind of does uppercuts with his knees. So it's
It's
an
true.
interesting
It's true.
matchup.
Oh, loading up that right hand.
That push was beautiful. They're both teeping a lot. This is something that people forget about knee fighters, is that teeping is really important. So rounds 1 and 2 are basically the
Oh, there was that head kick, man.
get to know you rounds. So now we're getting into the meat of this fight in round 3. So
There's the
Chamuakpet is
first
the
lock.
Chamuakpet's the one durning.
Notice that they don't lock, actually.
Langsuan has an arm hook, which is actually really nice.
But notice they do not lock in the Golden Age very much.
And the ref's not breaking it. He's
Yeah.
letting this kind of develop.
Oh, what is he signaling, the ref?
He's basically like trying to get them out of the corner, but he's not touching them. Because if he touches them, it's a
Oh.
break.
But-
Langsuan's got a bit of a lock there. See his arm behind the
But
back. Oh,
but they're not wrist to wrist locking. That's what I say by
it's
there's
not
no
a
lock.
stagnant locking. Yeah, it's very.
There's no wrist to wrist
it's
joining.
very flexible.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Langsuan bouncing back very beautifully.
Chamuakpet's doing a bit of his like bar of the thigh with his shin.
Oh, nice jumping knee.
Look at the ref just get between them and the ropes. He's like just keeping them, popping them off.
That jumping outside knee is Langsuan's specialty. He works it on the bag all the time. And as Chamuakpet told you,
They're slow.
he likes to go inside.
Yeah.
Up, blocking the knee.
He says you can block Langsuan's knees, but I don't actually see him blocking Langsuan's knees.
No. Oh,
Nice turn. Look at him go. This is why the clinch is not the same as it used to be. Look at it develop and be its own fight.
but they're not wrist
They're
to
not
wristing.
stagnant. No, they're not using power even. They're kind of like using
They're
timing and
snaking.
Nice. Chamuakpet's got his little
Oh,
bounce.
yeah, totally.
I actually
Oh, he's got his body shot.
think Langsuan's having a better go of this at the moment. I think he's
Totally,
getting...
he's being tracked now. In classical Muay Thai, when you're advancing, you're usually behind.
Oh,
and a
and he
little
got
kick,
caught.
a little kick over the head, symbolic kick
Look
over
at him
the
get
head.
right back up though. Oh, another one.
and another turn.
And a kick.
Oh, he's kind of like being tossed about a little bit.
Oh, I love this referee. Why do
Oh.
they not have this anymore? Oh, how did that work? That wasn't a
Langsuan ends up
backbreak.
on the bottom.
Oh, he's trying to get his punches off Langsuan. He's
See,
trying to,
now
like,
Langsuan
load.
is advancing. Look, this is how you know to change the score.
Little face smush there.
Man, this is just such incredible
He's almost.
clinching.
Chamuakpet's almost doing a long clinch. Almost. Oh, but those knees are
God,
going.
look at them scooting down the rope.
Like snakes.
Oh my God. Oh my God, and gets his head in. Chamuakpet gets his head in.
Oh, there's the round right there. That's Dieselnoy leaping over the ropes right there for those of you who... Dieselnoy trained at the Hapalong gym, so Chamuakpet was actually his teammate, but also a little bit of his
Oh, that
student.
pull down from the outside.
Here we go, round 4.
Start with a
Teep
teep
from Chamuakpet.
and a body shot. Teep
Nice.
followed by body shot. Oh, look at him swim in. There's a bit of a lock, but he just let go of it right
Langsuan
away.
gets his head under. That's why
Yes.
his lock is so good, is he
Yeah.
basically kills the posture in an upright
But
position.
he doesn't really lock. Remember when you trained with him, he didn't really join his wrists.
He doesn't join his wrist, but you cannot fucking get him off of you. It's
Oh,
incredible.
there's that uppercut. It just
Yeah.
barely missed. It was nice and
yeah.
long, had great vertical
Go, go, go.
angle. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
That was nice. Oh, that was nice. Drag back.
Big
but
knee.
Langsuan's got his head up under the chin, so
Yeah.
he can't. Chamuakpet can't quite get the range he needs.
Yeah, but those knees scored. Oh man, so beautiful. It's so. Oh, the little pull down.
The off balancing is just like these key moments. What was that?
Oh, elbow.
Langsuan's
look at him
going,
stalking,
going.
durning, and this is what he's known for: is his durn, his grab and durn.
Relentlessness.
Yeah, his head in. You can see the bag work. You can see the bag work,
Totally.
and it seems like Chamuakpet kind of gets little
elbow from
turns on him.
Chamuakpet.
He gets little redirections.
God, that's good reffing. Look at him.
Oh, another step knee by Chamuakpet. He's very
Oh,
good
he's
at
trying to
those.
go for the body. Oh, he's trying to go around, but Langsuan's blocking him. He got to the back a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a good position.
Oh,
for
look at him
Chamuakpet.
pull.
Chamuakpet landed on top. I think that's his point right there.
Yeah.
Something that Karahat said recently is that back in the day, the referees would just pop you off the rope. He wouldn't break it. And
Oh,
this is
look
part
at
of
this.
his, like, it was such a nightmare to fight Langsuan is you just
Look at
never
this.
got
Look
broken.
at this mid clinch.
Langsuan's having a problem
Yeah.
with Chamuakpet going low.
Yeah.
Langsuan doesn't really go
And-
low ever. He's always around the neck.
Yeah.
Oh!
There's that famous knee, 3 in a row. Those are big.
Uppercut from Langsuan.
Those are big, though. Those were really big.
Oi,
Another one.
oi,
Another one.
oi, oi.
Oh.
And the knee.
Oh, those were big scores. 3 in a row. When you land 3 times. Oh, and he slipped him. He stepped outside of him. Langsuan's going low. Langsuan went low.
He tried, but he got knocked over.
It's
by
not
it.
his move,
It's not
I
his
don't think.
move.
I don't think it's his move.
Oh, end of round 4. Back to the corner. Dieselnoy
Dieselnoy
jumps
hopping in, yeah.
So what's happening here is a shot is fired, nobody reacts, a second shot is fired, and Dieselnoy drops to the ground. They're going to show it in slow motion. So this is the end of round 4.
This is a murder at Lumpini Stadium in Hopalong's corner in Chamuakpet's
So that's
corner.
Dieselnoy jumping over as Chamuakpet is coming to the corner. Dieselnoy is fucking on fire.
Yeah, he always jumps in with this incredible
There's
intensity.
the first shot.
Dieselnoy's looking, and then he drops.
There, he actually pulls Chamuakpet down with him. So this is an incredible, incredible thing that happened, and I talked to Dieselnoy about it, and it's not entirely clear. There are...
Well, we're going to give a little background right here, just so everybody watching. We're going to pause, give a little background. Rolling. Okay, so we had a natural reaction and some information about the end of that fight when we originally watched it, but then we're like, let's dig into this and get some of the details. It's kind of a complicated story. Sylvie's been texting and even in a phone call with Dieselnoy, and so we've taken maybe about a week or so, and this is our little like cut in of new and improved kind of understanding, even though a lot of these events are still unclear.
Right, so we're trying to be as accurate as possible, so we did a little bit of clarification, kind of fact-checking with Dieselnoy the parts that were less clear so that we're not vaguing our way through it.
But we're still vaguing our way through it because this is a very complicated history, and also in Thai politics, everything is very sensitive. So how you talk about things.
So I'm going to read from a back and forth text I had with Dieselnoy and add some of the clarifications that we had over the phone. But this is a translation of our texts just to kind of explain what was going on with this shooting. So according to Dieselnoy's text, he says, the victim was the Hapalong gym owner. His name was Chaiwat Palang Watanakit, or Hiangao Hapalong. So the man who was shot in the corner was the head or owner of Hapalong Gym, which is the gym that Chamuakpet fights out of, and it's the gym that Dieselnoy, while he never used the name, trained out of. So he is very close with this gym.
You see him in the corner of all their fights.
Yes.
He's like a corner man. At this point, he is almost retiring.
Yeah.
He'd fought Samart a few years before, I think it was 2 or something like that. So Dieselnoy now is a full-time kind of like train himself and train the other fighters of Hapalong.
Right.
So.
He says, he was shot in front of me. I was less than 10 meters from the scene, in the ring. That's what we saw. The motive was that Chaiwat had gained more power and insulted Hiasoiti, Sortanakun's gym owner. He says that Hiasoiti, the man who shot the head of Hapalong Gym, was the owner or head, depending on how the translation is, of Sortanakun Gym. The reason this is really interesting is that while Dieselnoy never used the Hapalong Gym name, but was training at Hapalong Gym, and this is totally his group, his family, he was using the Sortanakun Gym name as like a business agreement.
Well, we don't know what kind of agreement, but there is a long history. At this point, there is a long kind of interwoven history between, I guess, Hapalong Gym and Tanakun Gym.
Right.
Because Tanakun Gym, no matter who the owner is, the power behind that was Clow, who is like, you could call him the godfather
Very
of Thailand.
famous gangster.
Very powerful gangster who managed Dieselnoy for a length of time, all the way through the Samart fight.
Right.
And he put on the Samart fight as a promoter.
Yeah.
So this is what happens here is a inter-business, inter-family argument, basically.
Right. So mafia, who are heads of two gyms, basically, who have been in business together, one kills the other. Dieselnoy says, I never joined Sortanakun, but my gym head used the name Sortanakun as a favor to Clow, or some agreement with Clow. He says...
Clow's the godfather, who's above the man who did the shooting,
right,
or ordered the shooting, right?
Dieselnoy says the motive of shooting was that Hiasoiti owed a lot of money at the head of Hapalong, at his gambling group.
Right.
So the man who did the shooting from Tanakun's gym basically said, you're gaining too much power, and he happens to owe him a lot of money.
You also left out the insult. Apparently he had insulted
No,
him.
I said that part. The motive was that Hyungao had gained more power and insulted Hiasoiti. So where am I?
I don't know. I think we're going on to the next part of this.
Okay.
Right? So, kind of what we can't know and talk a lot about, but Dieselnoy talks about, which is the history before this when Dieselnoy himself got associated with Clow and Tanakun Gym.
Right. So he made clear in this text that he did not train at or really go to the Sortanakun Gym, but used their name only in some kind of agreement. He seems to be explaining here how such an agreement between the two gyms came to be. He says it was complicated. In the past, Clow couldn't come out because of government blacklist. I don't know what that means. My boss, meaning the Hapalong Gym, let Clow come out to do social work for the community to erase the word mafia. He also let him use the name Sortanakun for Dieselnoy so people would know Clow as Dieselnoy's boss. He says, Clow was not known at the beginning.
And he's talking at the beginning quite a while before.
Right. He became very well known.
Yeah.
So he's talking about before Clow was Clow. He organized a big match and invited the current king. The main fight was between Dieselnoy and Wichenoy. It was a big match. Nobody could organize such a size of a match at that time.
So this was a huge thing. Dieselnoy considers Wichenoy the greatest fighter ever.
They fought three times.
And they fought 3 times, and Dieselnoy lost the first 2 times and then ended up beating him. But sounds like it maybe was the first match between Dieselnoy and Wichenoy, because they're like, he's like, nobody could pull this off, and Clow pulled it off. So it sounds like this is the origin that Dieselnoy, Wichenoy, and Clow's kind of stories were woven together. And this is where Dieselnoy started to become kind of involved in the Tanakun name, right?
So it seems as though in how this is being described that the career arc of Dieselnoy, he was kind of a pinnacle or like an important part between these two gyms in their growth, in their fame, in their Sor
That's very
Tanakun.
interesting.
Cleo Tanakun became very well known. He's also who organized the Samart versus Dieselnoy,
Yeah.
a fight that could never happen.
Yeah, so
and it happened.
so I guess he's known for bringing it together. The great I don't know if he's the Don King,
Yeah.
but the great promoter, big names, super match. And I guess Dieselnoy was just this superstar that was a freak of nature, and people were like, nobody can beat him. And this murder though sounds
Which
like
took place in the stadium. This is not a let's get rid of him kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess Clow was a subject of assassination attempt with a hand grenade thrown in Lumpini Stadium as well. So this is a very hot point kind of thing. And I guess what I wanted to mention or bring out is that Dieselnoy and these fighters, these Golden Age fighters, are fighting in the context of real life and death.
Yes.
Like, that the throwing of a fight or gambling debts are things where they're seeing people killed right in front of them, and they're fighting real fights.
Yeah.
And even the impression you might throw a fight could be deadly for you.
Yeah, the rumor itself.
Like if you lost a fight, and then someone is like, "Oh, they threw that fight," it could be deadly for you. And so this shooting here is not just, oh, it was so Wild West back then. There was an immense pressure on Muay Thai fighters at the time that probably doesn't exist right now for various reasons. There's probably other pressures. So this is a flashpoint moment after this like fight of the two great Muay Thai fighters in Langsuan and Chamuakpet, and then the fight after this we're gonna watch now, which is the resumption. So
obviously this fight didn't finish because of a murder, and so there was a rematch or a redo later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll watch that.
So we're gonna watch that. Okay.
All right, so this is Langsuan versus Chamuakpet 2. The last one
I can't imagine how
didn't
exciting.
finish.
I just can't imagine how look forward to this fight would have been.
For audiences?
I'm assuming this is the one that came after. This is labeled 2. I'm assuming that the other one wasn't 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
possible they fought many times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So again, we have Langsuan in the red corner and Chamuakpet here in the blue corner.
One Ramoy is going way beyond the other one.
Chamuakpet's, it's beautiful.
But that's kind of unusual. I wonder if he did that because of his gym manager's death.
He said to me that he was incredibly sad in the rematch.
Look at this. This is actually really interesting. I wonder, in the Ramoy you pay respect, right?
Yeah.
So this is maybe after the death. I wonder if Langsuan even gave him the stage to do this for himself.
I wonder how long it was after, too.
Totally. We don't have a date on this. That's really interesting.
It's nice. You often don't get to see the Ramoy. It's often edited out, and rounds 1 and 2 are edited together. So it's kind of cool to be able to see the whole thing.
The Wonsung Chai edits really clip a lot of the fights because they put them on DVDs.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Chamuakpet teaches in Japan. He's been there for many years.
I think 20, if not more.
Something like that.
Yeah, very long time.
He was Fighter of the Year 1985. Won 9 national stadium belts, which was the most ever in the Golden Age.
And split between both Lumpini and Rajadamnern, which is incredible.
He said this is at Lumpini.
This is Lumpini, yeah.
He's ready
Didn't even
to go.
go to his corner
He is
between.
ready to go.
He's got his hands on Langsuan's shoulders. Look at that.
Yeah. In a way, Langsuan must have felt terrible too
Yeah.
to be in that fight.
Yeah.
No, we don't know that person in the corner.
จะเป็นผู้มอบโทรทัศน์สีหนึ่งเครื่องให้กับหลังสวน
So this is a knee versus knee. You saw in the first fight
530 ครับ
where this is going.
Yes.
This is just great knee fighters. This style of fighting does not exist anymore.
No.
And these fights do not happen. Some of it has been rule changes. The lock, the wrist-to-wrist lock has become more prevalent. Foot sweeps that were illegal.
This is some kind of
Wow.
pre-fight
Generator?
award. They usually have like sponsors. It looks like they're only giving it to Langsuan, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
การสมาคมผู้สื่อข่าวกีฬา
Yeah, I don't know what
It's
this
like a
is.
generator.
ของที่ระลึกให้กับนักมวย
Typewriter.
ด้วยนะครับ
No, baby.
No, it'd be whoever the sponsor is. It looks
Yeah,
like it's
but-
ไม่
mechanical.
รอกันแล้วล่ะครับ
Yeah, or TV.
วันที่
That
7
could be. It's like in a case.
นี่จะต้องติดตามชมกันอีกในแวดวงมวยไทย
I wonder if people in the stadium were nervous.
Oh, it starts with the
That
teep
teep
again.
straight away.
เวทีมวยสยาม
Oh, and a jab.
เวทีมวยสยามอ้อมน้อมถ่ายทอด
Kick to the open side.
ครับโดยสถานีโทรทัศน์ในเครือข่ายกรมประชา
Chamuakpet looks amped a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a higher bounce rhythm than in the first fight.
He's doing a lot of teeping too. Cross check, kick to the open side.
Yeah, in a mixed stance. The open sides are open to each other's power sides.
กรรมการร้อยเอกชัยวัฒน์จีน
Similar to the first one, they're kind of going low a little bit to open it up.
Yeah, but Langsuan seems like he's just hanging back, but Chamuakpet seems like he's got a little verve on him.
He's got a little bit of diesel noise,
Yeah.
like hand pump.
Yeah.
ตัดสินเพราะว่ามีปัญหาเกิดขึ้นมาก่อนนะครับวันนี้เป็นการ
Nice push off.
ใครจะดีกว่ากัน
Oh! Cross to the to
He
the
was
collarbone.
holding his leg too.
Turned into an elbow. I've always thought that was good.
ขวาครับตีเข่าไม่ทัน
They're a little more active than they were in the first fight in the early rounds.
Oh,
Nice teeps from
He's doing
Chamuakpet.
really nice on the teep.
หลังสวนเดินขยับไปชมเพชร
Looks like Langsuan is a smaller fighter.
ก็หลอกด้วยการเอาแย่หมัดขวา
He's definitely a shorter
Oh,
fighter.
that's a nice cross block from Chamuakpet.
จับได้เดินตามไปเตะตามไปอย่าเข้าไป
โอ้ย
ทำ
Nice.
สวนดักด้วยเข่าขวา
I want those knees to get going. I know it's early.
Langsuan looks a little overwhelmed, honestly.
Really?
Just as by the energy.
I wonder when you have a fight that wasn't finished, right?
Yeah.
And you have this impression of the person you were fighting. Like Langsuan, I think, was winning that fight.
No.
The last one, he had a nice like groove to him.
He started having to chase at the end. Remember, Chamuakpet had 3 knees in the belly in a row.
He also put him down a few times.
Low high, kick to the head, kick the thigh, kick the head on the lead leg.
Oh, a little hop in.
Oh,
Oh, he almost elbowed.
yeah.
Nice open side knee. Backing up off of it, though.
Yeah.
He's not pressuring him really.
I think Chamuakpet had that fight won going into the 5th round. That is my view on it. He's really using that teep nicely. And look at Langsuan's teep was short. Hit air.
They're giving us the whole first round. That's really unusual.
Well, that's not.
It's not a one
Sung
sung chai. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Oh, there's
Channel
that
5.
Uppercut. Chamuakpet seems to be owning the space right at this point. Oh, there's a step knee. His spear knee. But it doesn't even matter because Langsuan's game is to turn. So nothing happens until the turn starts, right?
For those who aren't familiar, Dern is to walk. It's to be the aggressor. It's to come forward. It's the person who's pushing the pace.
It literally means to walk.
It means to walk. Yeah. Can't tell whether that's Diesel Noy in his corner or not, but Chamuakpet's actually not going into his corner straight away.
Wow,
Look at
that's
this.
really interesting.
He's like staying out of his corner.
That is crazy.
I've never seen that before ever.
I wonder it was because his boss
I think that's
was
Diesel
shot.
Noy. He's very tall.
Maybe because his boss was shot.
Yeah.
He-
Maybe they clipped it and he had already stood up, but it looked like he had never gone in.
Langsuan's starting to get that crouched kind of
Yeah,
closed.
he's very like,
He closes in,
Yeah.
makes it very hard to hit him.
he sinks down between his own
Yeah.
shoulders and
Yeah.
makes it
You
very
see
hard
that
to grab
little
him.
crouch thing that Sung Churn, Pinson Chai had a crouched
Style.
stance like
Yeah.
that, a little style. And now he's not turning at all, he's just waiting.
การนำไปเท้าขวา
Just waiting.
โอ้
Oh,
ซ้ายต่อต่อมาที่พับในหลังสวนเตะ
A
ขวา
little
ต่อยขวา
close of distance. He likes that. We know this from northern female fighters, but it's a little bit of a Superman. Like he throws his kick, but doesn't complete it, and then has a right
Gary
cross
did
on
it
top
just
of it.
now. He did it just now.
He's from the north. He's from Hayao. Langsuan
Oh
is.
man, that lead head kick.
สามหมัด
From Chamuakpet.
Yeah, he wants to like scoop it right over that shoulder.
Oh, into the corner.
ตีเข่า
Oh,
Get out, get out.
Get out who?
ตีเข่า
Chamuakpet. He put Langsuan in the corner, but then put himself in the corner.
สวนเตะสวนไป
Oh, nice check.
Look at the
Oh.
distance that they're staying in from each other. Like
Yes.
they're never farther than kicking range.
สวนก็พยายามจะตีเข่าจะพยายามตีเข่า
Oh,
Oh, here comes the
here's
snaking.
where we were watching the last fight.
This Chamuakpet has this rollover on the shoulder where he turns Langsuan's tight inside position.
ด้วยศอกขวาศอกหน้านะครับ
Oh, and these little poking side elbows from Chamuakpet. Outside,
Just get that out of the way.
outside tap.
ฟังเสียงเดินลุยเข้าไปเลยทีเดียวครับ
Chamuakpet's going backwards.
Oh, see how that head kick wants to like just creep over that shoulder?
I love that Langsuan
Oh.
uppercut.
ยอดอกของหลังสวนหนักเข้า
Oh,
แล้วก็สามหมัด1-2หลังสวนเดินเข้าไปจะมาเตะซ้าย
Nice.
Open side.
Open, landed
and
too.
a jab. Two little points. Open
Oh.
side again.
เข้าไปถูกเข่าซ้ายของ
that uppercut I love.
เข้าไปต่อย
So nasty. Especially against a southpaw fighter.
Yeah, he uses it against everybody, but it's like set up for a southpaw fighter.
ไปบัดขวาเข้าไป
You can tell that Langsuan has heavy hands.
Yeah, he throws himself
He
completely
has
into it.
his body's behind
Yeah.
the punches.
Yeah,
จมูกเพชรดัก
The Dern is starting a little bit.
a little bit.
หลังสวนเตะตัดจมูกเพชรเตะ
They're slightly different levels from each other. Like Chamuakpet has the head kick, but other than that, he's lower than the shoulders. Langsuan is very like kind of above the shoulder.
หลังสวนเดินไป
Oh, there's that knee again.
Body punch.
จมูกเพชรพยายามเตะซ้ายไว้นะครับ
Oh, jab, fade.
หลังสวนกระดอนออกมา
Oh.
He's totally keeping Langsuan out. That's
Yeah.
difficult. Plow, but you're allowed to do that back in the day. Shove off.
หลังสวนเดินมาต่อยหมัดขวาลำตัว
Oh, those
he
body
almost-
punches, man.
yeah.
ไว้หมดยก
God.
เงินบอก
On someone who needs their gas tank, like on someone you know is going to be pushing hard.
จมูกเพชรนั่นเป็นมวยที่ใหญ่
When,
ก
you
ว่า
think that was round two?
Yeah, so they're both standing, so they're cutting to them coming out of their corners here.
ไม่มีใครสู้แล้วก็ปล่อยน้ำหนักตัว
But he was in the middle of the ring.
He
almost.
was, it was crazy. He was,
way
like,
out
already
there.
here.
Yeah.
เป็นท่าจารย์นี่ฝ่ายน้ำเงิน
Round 3.
Round
All right, so
three.
this
Okay,
is
yeah, that's when
scoring.
it starts to get going.
เห็นพี่เลี้ยงฝ่ายน้ำเงินบอกว่าอย่าเล่นสิอย่าเล่นสิก็
อ๋อ
ดูว่าฝ่ายน้ำเงินเขาเล่น
Well, you can see Langsuan has more energy now. Like, he was a little bit sleepy.
เตะซ้ายอีกที
โอ้
ถีบซ้ายครับ
Getting caught up in the ropes.
เดินเข้ามาไม่กลัวนะครับ
Oi!
เดินตามจมูกเพชร
Ah, referee's telling him to get off the ropes. He's like warning them.
A mistimed elbow by Chamuakpet.
Oh, nice turn.
Oh, he's very good at these pulls. Look at
He went under his leg to try to
Oh.
pop him. That was really nice.
Langsuan's latched on though, like you said. He
Yeah.
latches.
Yeah.
He has a very firm latching.
Like a leech.
Yeah. Yokopan had also.
เดินเข้าไปจริงเหมือนกันนะ
Look.
ครับ
I was a little bit long for Chamuakpet there.
เดินตามไปไหม
Oh, over the top.
Body shot to answer the knee. Oh.
Oh,
หลังสวนไม่กลัวครับเข้าไปถูก
oh.
Oh, you can see Langsuan starting to feel it.
This is that clash. This is that
Oh.
Chan that they want. Yeah.
ลากบาดกันหลังสวนกลับมาถูกเตะ
Nice cross
Oh,
block.
he goes to the body. He's trying to prevent that knee and an elbow on that side too, and uppercut. Oh,
Oh.
this is just beautiful Muay Thai.
Oh.
Overhand rights, uppercuts, and elbows from the right hand of Langsuan. Oh, oh, uppercut.
It's like punches versus knees.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Chamuakpet is going back.
Oh, he is just missing. He is just missing.
ครึ่งปากครึ่งจมูก
Oh.
His style right now reminds me very much of Samson Hassan.
เดี๋ยวไปดูข้างซ้ายจมูก
Oh, he's just missing.
Langsuan does.
Yes.
With the punching, yeah.
Yeah, the uppercuts and the
เดินเข้าไปใหม่
big, powerful rights
It's
as a
a-
knee
he's-
fighter.
it's
Oh, it
interesting-
looked like he clipped him a little bit.
Langsuan doesn't really cut off the ring.
Oh, man.
I wonder if that's because Chamuakpet's southpaw or if it's
I
just
think
his
it's,
style.
no, Chamuakpet is good at slipping, fading out.
Oh, he just tapped him in the chin with that
Oh.
foot.
Oi!
Oi.
Very big.
2 kicks from Chamuakpet.
Yeah.
Get him.
But this is point.
Langsuan's
this is-
durning.
Oh, this
When
is.
when we say Dern, This is what we're talking about.
Oh, look at him pop the little knee up. Oh, he wants to load that right hand.
Oh, it landed too.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh. Actually, Chamuakpet is kind of playing a femur game right
Yeah.
here.
He's a knee
out.
fighter, but he's also very well rounded. He totally can do this backwards thing really well.
Oi. Oh, he just wants to catch him.
Ah.
Those hooks are really nice because they're catching Chamuakpet as he fades to his right.
Chamuakpet's snuffing pretty well, but he's not landing the knee that I want him to be throwing.
There was that little Superman. You can feel Langsuan feels it a little bit.
A little bit. Chamuakpet might be trying to tire Langsuan out for round 4 with this. Here we go.
With what? Running?
With running, yeah.
No, that's his ability to do that. He's in the lead.
It's very evasive, yeah.
I would say this. I'm going to tire Langsuan out. Is not like the first strategy you'd think.
I'm going to outrun this cheetah.
I mean, it's maybe possible, but I'm just saying.
Not a strategy.
It's not a strategy.
It's a Hail Mary
I'm
approach.
going to tire that diesel on out. Oh, Langsuan started with the teep that time.
Oh.
Clip. Tune the TV in.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Strangely enough,
That was a surprise.
we were watching that fight without even fully knowing what was happening,
Well-
that it was cut short, and it's kind of bizarre that both fights have been cut short, one by
In the same
history, in the same round.
But this is one of the things, when we do a watch with me, it is fresh. Like, we have not usually watched those fights before. We're trying to get our initial reactions. So we were very surprised to learn that for some reason, the last round of that fight just doesn't exist.
Maybe there's a full copy of it somewhere, but we couldn't find it.
But so I asked Dieselnoy who won that fight, and so Chamuakpet won that fight.
On points.
On points.
Right.
So there was a 5th round.
And I don't know, when I was watching that fight in the 4th round, it looked like, now it's been a week since we watched it. I thought Langsuan was making some strides in that fight.
He fought differently than in the first one, yeah.
So I wanted to, I wish I could see that 5th round, unless it was some like nullifying, as soon as you start to chase and you can't catch kind of thing. So there's a little bit of a mystery about what happened in that 5th round.
Yeah.
But this is the 2 fighters of the year. Both of them won Fighter of the Year. Both considered like unbelievable Muay Thai fighters, and Chamuakpet took the prize between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good fight.